Are your vocabulary choices reducing your score in DET's Write About the Photo? If you're only using normal basic vocabulary, you could be losing a lot of points. So in this video, we're going to look at 35 words and phrases that are very high level and will help you to score 140 or higher. So let's get started. Hello, I'm Francis from Last Minute English. Let's do a quick 30-second review of Write About the Photo before we jump into those 35 words and phrases. So, Write About the Photo, you have 60 seconds to look at a photo and to write as much as you can. And we recommend writing for maybe 45 to 50 seconds and then reviewing what you've written so you can quickly change any little spelling or grammar mistakes. This question comes 3 times in the DET and it counts towards your production and literacy subscores. Now towards the end of this video, we're going to do a practice question. I'll give you some ideas of how to organize your answer and I'll show you my full, very high level answer as well. That's coming later. First of all, let's get started with our vocabulary. So the first thing we should do when we're writing about the photo is describe the different elements, the different things we can see in the photo. And we're going to be working on this photo here. Now, I've written 3 sentences. I want you to think, what is the problem with these 3 sentences? So we have, I can see 2 young women. They have a dog. There is a mountain track. What's the problem there? They're all factually correct. They're actually what we can see in the photo, but they're too basic. They're too simple. So I've got 5 great sentences for you where you just need to add your own details and you can write about any element, anything that you can see in a photo. So let's go through them. First of all, the first thing that catches my attention is, and you say what that thing is. Then another aspect of the photo I should mention is, so that's a second thing you want to mention. Then in the background, I've just noticed, and you say whatever that is, and I've spotted what appears to be. By the way, spotted means I've gone, look at that. I've seen something. And finally, I'd also like to spend some time talking about or writing about. Now, these sentences are all great for write about the photo. They're also really good for speak about the photo. And if you want to get the best score possible in speak about the photo, we have another great video. It's 35 sentences for 160. The link is up here, or you can get it down here under the video. And I suggest that might be the next video that you watch after we finish this one. Now, going back to our 5 parts of sentences, remember, you have to add the detail from each photo. And the reason that I give you these partial sentences, not a complete sentence, is that you can use these for any photo. The only thing you have to do is to learn them. So you learn this part, you look at the photo in your real test, and you just add a few words. So let's take a look at complete versions talking about this photo of the women hiking with the dog. So we could say, the first thing that catches my attention is the main subject of the photo, 2 young women on a hike. In the background, I've just noticed what looks like a little red dog. And I'd also like to spend some time talking about the lovely mountain scenery. By the way, if you're enjoying this video, make sure to like and subscribe so that you don't miss any of our future DET videos. And if you're preparing for the DET and you want to make sure you get 120 or higher the first time you take the test, we have a great preparation course exactly for that. And the details and the link for that are here under the video. The second thing we want to talk about in any write about the photo is the human activity. So what are the people doing in this photo? And we've got some great verbs that you can use. So let's go through and look at them. We have, first of all, take part in, which is like participate, be part of something. Then we have carry out, which is to complete a task or an activity. And we have take up, which is to start doing a new habit. Now, those 3 are really good for speaking as well. So again, you're learning for write about the photo, you're also learning for speak about the photo, and all of the other speaking questions in the DET. Then we have focus on, which is paying attention to something. We have engage in, which is doing something, being involved in an activity. We have devote time to something, which is a high-level way of saying spend time doing something. And we have undertake, which is starting or beginning a challenge. Now, of course, you don't need to use all of those in your answer, but if you can use one or two, that will really give a nice boost to your score. Let's see how we could use them talking about the women on the hike. So we could say, the women seem to be taking part in an afternoon hike. They look quite focused on sticking to the path. Maybe so they don't get lost. The third point to focus on is the setting. So where are they? What can you see around them? And we've got some great adjectives here that you can use to describe the different feelings, the different atmospheres of different photos. So we could say that the area is lively, it's full of energy, or it's serene, it's very calm. You could say it's picturesque. That means it's very beautiful, very attractive, looks like it's in a photo. Or barren, so there's nothing there, like there's no people or there's no nature. It doesn't look very nice at all. Barren. You could say it's local, so it looks like it's very particular for one place. You could say it's breathtaking, so it's like, oh my God, amazing, what a beautiful place. Or you could say it's mundane, and that means kind of normal, ordinary, a little bit boring. So if we were describing the women on the hike with the mountain behind them, we could probably use serene, picturesque, and maybe breathtaking as well. Those would all be good choices to put in. And again, we don't have to use all 7 of those adjectives. 1, 2, maybe 3, and that's going to give our score a lovely little boost. The fourth thing to think about is feelings and emotions. Now, this can come in 2 different ways. First of all, it could be that the people in the photo are showing some kind of feeling or emotion, like they're very happy, or they're sad, they're angry, they're fighting, whatever it would be. Or you can describe how you feel looking at the photo. What feeling does the photo actually give you? So again, we've got some sentences, and I have added a few details here about different photos, not the photo of the women on the hike. And again, you can see that the first part, the main part of these sentences, you can learn and use it for any photo. You just have to add your own details. So let's go through them. First of all, it's clear that the man is feeling nervous. So you just add nervous. And if it's a woman, you could say that the woman is feeling, and then you add the detail. Then their facial expressions suggest the children are having fun. Next, from her body language, or from his or from their body language, I'd say the lady is curious. So you're looking at what they're doing with their body and you're making a guess about how they feel. And then the photo evokes a sense of relaxation. Evokes means it gives us a sense. And finally, it's an image that conveys a feeling of stress. And again, that's just one word at the end. You can learn the rest of it, and if you practice that enough, you practice writing that, you'll just look at the photo in the exam, add one word, and that's one complete, really good sentence. So those are some sentences about feelings, but we can also use some high-level adjectives, individual words. So I've got 4 very simple adjectives for you, and I'm going to show you 3 high-level alternatives for each one. So let's go through. First of all, we have happy. So very simple, very normal word. So instead we could say pleased, we could say satisfied, we could say proud. If someone is sad, we could say that person is upset, or they are low, or they are down. If they're interested in something, we could say they are motivated, they are engaged in, or they are focused on that thing. And if they look tired, we could say they're sleepy, they're exhausted, or they're restless. Restless is like they want to sleep, but they feel maybe a bit nervous, they can't get to sleep, that kind of feeling. Now, your time is very tight. You don't have too much time in Write About the Photo, but if you have time at the end to write a summary sentence, that's a really nice way to finish off your answer and make it very organized. And also when you get to your longer writing things like interactive writing and the writing sample, you could use these sentences as well. So these are 5 ways that you can introduce a quick summary. All right, so we could say overall, and then you say a feeling. You could say all in all. You could say in summary then, or to summarize, or to sum up. And remember, at the end of the video, I'm going to show you that full model answer, and we'll see in that answer how we can use one of these phrases. So in a second, I'm going to give you a chance to do some practice. We're going to write about a photo. But first, let me give you that strategy, that organization for a good answer. So there are 6 things that we should be doing if we want to do a really good answer for write about the photo. So first of all, who you can see, talk about the people. Then, what are those people doing? Next, why are they doing the thing that they're doing? So what's their reason for being there? Then 4, where the picture or the photo was taken, and then when it was taken, and how the people in the photo are feeling, or if that isn't clear, how does the photo make you feel? And if you can remember that structure as well, it means that you'll always have enough ideas to write about. That's one of the biggest problems that people have. Even though it's only 60 seconds, people still run out of ideas, and it's so pressured that they can't think of what to say. So if you learn that structure, that's going to be a really good way to make sure that you've always got a long and organized answer. So let's do a little bit of practice. It's going to be the same photo of the women on the hike, but I want you to try to take 1 minute and write me the best answer that you can. And if you can include some of the words and phrases that we've learned, then that's great as well. Now, of course, if you just want to skip to the part where I show you my answer, that's kind of the lazy way of doing it, but it's okay. Just skip to the next chapter and I'll go through the answer. But if you want to have a practice, then I support you. I think that's a good thing. So your 1 minute of writing time starts now. Okay, welcome back. So let's take a look at a sample answer, and you'll be able to see that we haven't used all of the language that I've taught you in today's video, but we've used a good amount of it, I think. So let's go through. The first thing that catches my attention is the photo's main subject, 2 young women hiking down a sunlit mountain trail. Sunlit, very nice. There's lots of sunlight. Walking between them is a little red dog, its bright coat vivid against the earthy tones of the path. The composition feels balanced, with the women and dog drawing your eye along the winding trail. That's a very nice phrase. Composition is like the organization of a photo. So they're not like all over this side or all over that side. They're kind of in the middle. It feels balanced. And we continue with a second paragraph. They appear focused on the path, carefully navigating this picturesque setting. Framed by lush greenery, the trail leads to a breathtaking view of distant mountains under a clear blue sky, adding to the serene atmosphere. So dropping in a few of those nice adjectives. The photo evokes a sense of adventure, connection with nature, and companionship. All in all, and here's our conclusion sentence, all in all, it captures a perfect moment of movement, stillness, and the simple joy of being outdoors. So there's our answer. That's a pretty high level answer. I think that would get 160. You don't have to get to that level, but this is a good example for you to follow to see the organization and to see how we can use some of those words that we've learned. So there we go. Great job for getting to the end. You've now learned over 35 new words and phrases that can help you to score 140 or higher when you write about the photo. If you found this video useful, make sure to like and subscribe. Remember as well, if you're preparing for the DET, make sure to check out our DET preparation course so that you can score 120 or higher the first time you take the test, so you don't have to keep paying to take it again and again and again. Now, my recommendation for you for the next video you should watch is this one here. Remember, I told you about it before. This is all about speak about the photo, 35 sentences that can help you score 160. It's even more in-depth than what we've looked at in this video. And the sentences are great for speak about the photo and also for write about the photo. So you're killing two birds with one stone. All right, check that out. The link is also down here. I'm Francis from Last Minute English. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.